Sabian, hey Sean, how do you think The Flash underperforming will impact the box office of Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2? Between Shazam 2 being dead on arrival, The Flash, which has multiple Batman in it, and it had the promise of cameos. If it couldn't get people to show up in large numbers, I think that they dramatically mishandled the rollout of the DCU announcements. When they did it, how they did it, they just let the air out of the balloon. People just don't care like they probably would have otherwise, because it just feels like it's just these leftovers that are here. They weren't designed, they weren't written or filmed to be the end, but it turns out they are. And so you go into them with a very kind of weird energy of like, oh, why are we doing this? How does this tie in? And it just gives a bad buzz, a bad energy to things that otherwise might have had a better vibe to them. And so how do I think that'll play into Blue Beetle? If this movie's struggling, if Shazam 2, a sequel, that they were marketing and they put, well, I mean, I guess it's been months now, but like they put Wonder Woman in the trailer, which if you haven't seen, I don't want to say too much about it, but like the specific way that she's used in the movie, it is just an egregious spoiler that they would do that. Saying it now, I mean, the movie's been out for months, and so like I feel it's on the table to talk about it, but months after the movie, or before the movie came out, they spoiled an important, the appearance is more than just, hey, look, it's a plot point, and they spoiled it because they're so desperate to sell tickets, and still nobody bought tickets. If they can't sell tickets to Shazam 2 with Wonder Woman in there, how are they going to get people to buy tickets for Blue Beetle, a significantly less high-profile character that doesn't have a previous movie? The star of Cobra Kai is not as big of a star as Zachary Levi. It's his first, big movie. So it just feels like what's going to happen with this? And then I think Aquaman 2 just feels like a movie that that movie needed to come out 2 years ago to still be on the excitement for, Aquaman, it made $1 billion. Wow, way overperformed. Let's do this again. And so just by now, it just feels like this leftover thing with all sorts of Amber Heard stink all over it, that people hate this movie because she's in it. And they've been re-editing, reshooting the movie for a year and a half. We know they're doing that. They redid the ending of The Flash. That was going to set up the stuff that they did with Batgirl and Michael Keaton, and redid the end of the movie. And we know they're doing this. They're removing characters. They're removing these actors that we love in these parts, reshooting, reworking the movie. Like, I know people that saw Aquaman 2. I know 2 people that saw Aquaman 2 a year and 2 months ago. And they've talked to other people that have seen it since, and it's like a totally different movie because they just keep reworking it and changing who's in it and reshooting it and changing the cameos. And so it's just like they fiddled with it to death for a universe that's ending. Who cares about this movie anymore? I'm a little bit curious because the first one made $1 billion because of international markets. It didn't make $1 billion because it made $700 million here in the U.S. It made, I think, like 70% of its money overseas. And they're like, how much is the foreign markets like, oh, Amber Heard, well, she pooped on a bed. I don't know how much they track all that stuff. I have no idea their awareness of some of those things. So sometimes it can get a little bit of a difficult to get a read on movies like this that perform so well outside of the context where I'm at and the conversations that I'm having. But I think those movies are in serious trouble. And The Flash just highlights it. Like Batman, this is an A-list character that sells tickets. That's why they keep making Batman movies and keep making Joker movies. These are like, people love the character, and they just put out a movie with Batman. Like prominently, 2 Batman prominently featured in the marketing, and it's way underperforming. It's like its numbers, it looks like it's going to open about the same as Black Adam. It's Batman. It's The Flash, for that matter. The Batman and The Flash. Batman is like the way up here. Flash, another character that is like pretty high up there, but hasn't had a movie yet. 2 different TV shows. It's weird we haven't had a Flash movie ever. Finally get one. after all of these years. And its numbers are around Black Adam. Black Adam, has the strength of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but Black Adam is nowhere near as famous or as popular as Batman and The Flash. Dead on arrival. For a very disappointing number. You stop to think, like I was talking about how disappointing Guardians Volume 3's numbers were. Like, oh man, it's only going to open to over 100 million. Wow, this is significantly less than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 did. Think about this. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, years back. These were nobodies to the general public 10 years ago. Nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opened to 140 million. A movie starring Batman and The Flash is opening this weekend for half of that. That's crazy to me. It's wild. But yeah, I think DC has just shot themselves in the foot and really burned their trust with audiences.
Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.